Look up on a clear day, and you might spot a commercial airliner leaving a white trail across the blue. From the ground, it looks so peaceful, almost slow. But right now, that metal tube is hurtling through the sky at over 500 miles per hour in a freezing, hostile environment. If you travel often, you might have noticed a pattern. Almost every commercial flight you've ever been on cruises right around the same altitude, somewhere between 35,000 and 40,000 feet. But why? Space officially begins at over 300,000 feet. The sky is massive. Why do we stick to this narrow, invisible highway? Why not fly at 50,000 or 60,000 feet to avoid turbulence and bad weather entirely? Welcome to Simple Things Surprising Histories. Today we're uncovering the invisible physics, the engineering limits, and a terrifying aviation concept known as the Coffin Corner. Let's start with a simple balancing act: air. Down near the ground, the Earth's atmosphere is thick and heavy. That's great for our lungs, but it is terrible for flying fast. Pushing a massive airliner through thick air is like trying to run through a swimming pool. The friction creates massive drag, which means the plane has to burn a tremendous amount of fuel just to push forward. So, planes climb higher. Up at 35,000 feet, the air is much thinner. There's less resistance, meaning planes can fly faster while burning far less fuel. But you can't just keep climbing forever. Jet engines work by sucking in oxygen to burn fuel. If you go too high, the air becomes so thin that the engines literally can't breathe. They would starve and flame out. At the same time, the wings need enough air molecules to push against to keep the heavy plane in the sky. Between 35,000 and 40,000 feet is aviation's Goldilocks Zone. Not too thick, not too thin. Just right. But there's a much darker, more surprising reason planes don't fly higher. It's an aerodynamic trap that pilots call the Coffin Corner. As a plane climbs higher into thinner air, it has to fly faster just to generate enough lift to stay up. If it flies too slow, it stalls, loses lift, and starts to fall. So higher altitude means you must maintain a higher minimum speed. But here's the catch. As you go higher, the temperature drops dramatically, and in freezing air, the speed of sound actually decreases. If a commercial airliner flies too fast, the air rushing over its curved wings can hit the speed of sound, creating supersonic shock waves that destroy lift and can literally shake a commercial plane apart. So, as you climb, your minimum safe speed goes up and your maximum safe speed comes down. If you climb high enough, those two speeds eventually meet. At that altitude, fly 1 mile an hour too slow and you stall. 1 mile an hour too fast, and you break apart. Airliners stay at 40,000 feet to keep a safe, comfortable distance from this deadly corner. Beyond the engines and the wings, there is the most fragile part of the plane: you, the passengers. At 40,000 feet, the outside air pressure is so low and oxygen is so scarce that a human would pass out in less than 20 seconds. That's why aircraft cabins are heavily pressurized, pumping safe air into the tubes so you can read a book and drink your coffee. But engineers have to plan for worst-case scenarios. If a window were to break or a door seal failed, the cabin would depressurize instantly. At 35,000 feet, oxygen masks drop, and pilots have enough time to dive the plane down to a safe, breathable altitude, usually around 10,000 feet. If a commercial plane were cruising at 60,000 feet and lost pressure, your time of useful consciousness drops to just 3 to 5 seconds. It is simply too dangerous for a massive commercial jet full of everyday people to fly that high. Now, there have been historical exceptions. The legendary Concorde was specially designed with massive delta wings and incredibly powerful engines to cruise at 60,000 feet, giving its passengers a stunning view of the curvature of the Earth. And today, smaller, lighter private business jets can regularly fly up to 51,000 feet. But for the massive, heavy commercial jets carrying hundreds of people around the world every single day, the sweet spot remains right there at 40,000 feet. It is the perfect, invisible marriage of safety, fuel efficiency, and physics. Next time you're looking out an airplane window, you'll know exactly why you are where you are. If you enjoyed this journey into the sky, be sure to hit the like button, share this video with a fellow traveler, and subscribe to Simple Things Surprising Histories for more everyday mysteries explained. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.